Hello. Just going to give people a couple of minutes to join with us. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Giving people some time to connect in. Got a few people, couple people watching. So this is number 2 of our Wednesday live stream practice session. Last week's one, if you were watching, was a little bit of a fail because we got halfway through and the stream flipped out and died on us. So I'm just keeping an eye on the statistics and or the analytics. Make sure the stream health goes well. Stream health is looking good. Stream is healthy. Stream is excellent. That's what we want to hear. I thought I'd just change guitars just for the hell of it. The telly is good. This is a little bit smoother. All right, so last week we sort of went through some things before we were rudely interrupted, and went through some exercises with our metronome and a bit of a pad track or a guide track just to give us context to our harmony with our scales, which I think is a good thing to do when you're practicing your scales, just so you can sort of hear the context of the notes, because when they're isolated it sort of can be a bit boring, but when you play it along with a track or a backing track, doesn't have to be anything special, just something in the key that you're playing, I find it just keeps me engaged a little bit more. All right, so what I've done on my website, you can see the website address down here. This is really hard to do with the camera. All right, so we can see the web address down here, Menai Guitar School. On there, if you go to the home page and scroll down to where it says stream, I have uploaded some notes for anyone that's interested, and you can just click on the PDF download thing and it'll download to your computer with a whole bunch of exercises that I use during my practice session. So if you want to go there, you can download sorry, I'm looking back here now. You can download the file from a website, which will probably be helpful maybe to somebody. So, sorry, I'm just trying to find a timer on my phone. Timer, clock, settings. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to start off with the old chromatic exercise. And I just do that one from the 5th fret. It's not really the chromatic scale, because the way you have to be played would be to be 5 notes for the on one string and then 5 notes on the next note. That would be the technically the chromatic scale, but we're just playing the same sort of fingering idea, just 4 fingers right across the guitar. So we're just going to do that for, let's just do that for 1 minute, and I'll set my timer, and when that goes off we will move on to something new, and I'll put the, once again, put the old click track on, and I might just turn the pad and the drums off at this point, just so we can play along with the click. Alright, so I'm going to play crotchets. I'm going to play a beat on every click that you hear of the metronome. You can, if you're feeling like that's too fast for you, you can do 1 every 2nd beat or 1 every 4 beats. Remember, it's not super important that you play the same note subdivision, just as long as we get our pick and fingers working quite well over the top of this. Alright, so let's go... sorry, I'm just distracted by what's happening. I'm watching YouTube at the same time as it streams, and it looks a bit weird because my guitar is different, or hasn't caught up to me yet. Maybe it just hasn't caught up. All right, so sorry. One of these days I'll become really good at these things. I won't get distracted as much. All right, so let's go. So 1 minute. Actually, let's do 1 minute 30 because 1 minute's not very long. All right. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then we're going to go in reverse. And there goes my alarm. All right, so, okay, done. So I'm just fixing something on my iPad. Okay, so that's chromatic exercise. Not super exciting, but anyway, let's now go. Let's go now. Let's do our G major scale. Same tempo. We're doing 100 beats with the metronome. Let's do first position just for a minute 30 again. All right, start the metronome. Like I said, if you need notes on anything that I'm going over you don't have, you can send me an email. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doubling up. You can play at a slower tempo if you want. bit sloppy. All right, cool. Stop there. Okay, so that's the major scale. Let's do a minute just on our minor pentatonic in G, first position. You can play, like I said, crotchets, eighth notes, whatever you want to play. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I said, these are really just basic exercises. But it's just helping us to get our coordination together. Especially if you haven't played guitar for a couple of days. I'm just going to step it up a bit. Alright, stop there. Alright, that was highly boring. Alright, for the hell of it, let's just do the major pentatonic in the first position as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, there's a minute done there. Alright, so let's move over to our G natural minor scale and give that a go for a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, done. Alright, so we've done our 4 main scales, major, minor, and the 2 pentatonic scales, major and minor. Obviously, we only did first position. If you wanted to go real crazy, you could do them all up the neck, which is a really good idea to do. Get you happening with that. Alright, so what we're going to do now, let's do some work on our arpeggios. Alright, so we're going to do the G major arpeggio. So we've got G major in the different octaves. So we've got the first octave down here, 3rd fret. I'm assuming you know what I'm doing here. If you don't, like I said, you can send me an email. I will send you some notes. Or we could even do a Zoom call and do a lesson. And so what I'm doing, I'm going straight up the octave to play each of these arpeggios. So we've got G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, and then F sharp diminished, or F sharp minor 7, flat 5. And then we go back to the G up the top. And we're going to do that. Let's do that now with some pad, a little bit of drums in the key of G. Just to give it a little bit more context. Keep it interesting. Let's do this for 2 minutes. So when we get all the way up to the top of the G, we'll play the G up here on the 15th fret. Might give it a bit squishy, especially if you don't have 22 frets. And then we'll go back down if we've got time. All right, so here we go. 2 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're going to go to A minor. Let's do A minor again. Let's do B minor now. All right, C major. C major again because I screwed it up. All right, we're going to go D major. Go! Can't talk and play guitar at the same time, which is not good. Let's do D major again. All right, E major, E minor. All right, that's my timer going off. So what we'll do, we'll just keep going, see if we can get all the way to the end. We've got E minor. All right, and then we've got F sharp minor 7 flat 5. So we've got and up the octave. All right, and then we're going to go G up the top, 15th fret. Gets a bit squishy up the top. All right, stop there. Okay, so I'm just going to mute that for a sec. Okay, so we've done some arpeggios going up the neck, and I find that really helpful to build up your awareness of where those notes are. Because as I'm playing the arpeggio through the octaves, I'm looking at where those octaves are. I'm thinking, okay, there's a G there, there's a G there, there's a G there, or A minor. You're tracking that first note of your arpeggio, or C, or whatever it might be. So that's a really cool exercise, not only for the fingers and the coordination of the arpeggio, but to get your head around where your notes lie on the fretboard. Because you could sit there and do the E, F, F sharp, G, but that sort of gets a bit boring. So what we're going to do now, we played it, the arpeggios just sort of diagonally up the neck. Then, what we're going to do now, we'll just play the same arpeggios, Ooh. Straight up the neck on those 2 strings. Yep, same thing. We'll keep the same tempo. And let's just do that for 1.5 minutes. So we'll go 1 minute, 30 seconds. Done. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can do this as fast or as slow as you want. I'm just doing it pretty slow, just so people can track where I'm up to, and I don't leave everybody behind. And I could go up, keep going up. B minor, C major. All right, let's do that again. 3, 4, G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, G. Alright, let's do that again. We've still got about 30 seconds. 1, G major, A minor. G. Might as well keep going. A minor if you got the frets. Oh, you wouldn't know where the heck you're at. Alright, cool. And that takes us to that end of that timer too. Okay, so let's now do our arpeggios across the guitar. Alright, so we've got our G major. We've got A minor, so we're going to stay in this zone of these 4 frets. So we've got G major. I've got to watch where the camera's going. G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, and G. All right, so we'll do a 1:30 on that. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, or F sharp diminished, and then G. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp, G. Let's do that again. G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp minor 7 and flat 5, and then G. One more time. G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, and then G. Alright, and we've got about 6 seconds left there on that one. Okay, good work. So we've worked our arpeggios diagonally, horizontally across the E string, E and A string. And then we've done it. What direction is that? I don't know. Vertically down the neck. We could also do all the other strings if you had time. I don't want to bore everyone to tears. All right, so what we're going to do now, let's do some sequencing. So some sequencing is good. We can do groups of 3, groups of 4, groups of 5. You could do groups of 6, 7s, whatever you want. And like I said, if I'm losing you, go to my website. There's a sheet that you can download with all these exercises on it. So let's just do a 1.5 minutes. Let's change key. So let me. My computer's locked me out. Hang on. Because we've been working in G for a while. Let's give G a rest. Let's do B. B. All right. So the key of B. All right. So we're going to do B. Let's start with minor pentatonic, and we're going to do groups of 4. So we're going to do 4 notes, and then go back to the second last note we played and play 4 notes from there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And then backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You get the idea. So I played that in triplets. So we're going to play that in 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And that might be a bit fast for some people. I'll take it back to quarters just so you can get used to the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinky. First finger. Ring finger. First finger. Ring finger. First finger. Ring finger. First finger. All right, we've gotten to the top of that first position of the pentatonic. And the fingers I was calling out is the finger you go back to. Because when I'm playing a sequence, I'm thinking of the rhythm, as well as where what note I have to land back on. Because when you've got lots of notes going there, it can get quite confusing. So let's do reverse on that. Same thing on the crotchet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it again from the head. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I screwed it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wasn't thinking what I was doing. Pinky. First. Ring. First finger. Ring. First finger. Ring finger. First finger. All right, mate, at the top, let's go in reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. First finger. 2, 3, 4. Pinky. 3, 4. First finger. Ring finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. First finger. Ring finger. First finger. Ring finger. And I think I might have screwed that up. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to just get to kick it up a notch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm going to play the 8th notes. You can play the crotchet or the half note or whatever you want to play. All right. And it might give us a bit more of that track. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and screwed it up. 3, 4. 1 and 2 and. I'll try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, stop there. All right. I hope I haven't left anybody behind with that. So one good thing to do is start working our subdivisions of our notes. So there I did crotchets and 8th notes. We could also do triplets over the top of that. When you do triplets, with groups of fours, it sort of messes with your head a bit. So if I did that, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, ba 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 ba. So that one all in from the head. So I need to do some more exercises on that one. So once again, triplets. I'll put the pad back on. Give this a go if you're feeling confident. We'll go from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. All right, backwards. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. All right. We could also do 16th notes. So 1 da 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 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. If we go from the top. All right. So that's over groups of fours. What if we did that groups of 3? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Let's try that over the top of this beat. And what we'll do, we'll start with crotchets or quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, backwards. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, we try that in eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Backwards. Alright, so let's try triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, da 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 da. Go again. All right, so that starts to get a little bit more interesting rather than just doing crotchets across our particular scale. And we could do that over our minor and major scales as well. 1, 2. And so on. I screwed that up. But you get the idea. I don't want to spend too much time there because we will all go back crazy. Okay, let's do... I should refer back to my notes as what I was going to cover with this practice session. And... I did write it down. And I can't find it in the midst of my shopping list. All right, so we've worked out some scales, we've worked some arpeggios, worked some sequencing ideas. Let's do an arpeggio over a sequence over an arpeggio. So we've done our scale. So let's do B -7. All right. So if we look at our B, that's our B note there on the 7th fret. Our -7, the sequence of notes in the -7 is the 1, the flat 3, the 5, and the flat 7. That gives us our B minor 7 arpeggio. But we could also play it like this. So if that's our 1, then our flat 7 is there. So that's our flat 7, because that would be your major 7 and 1, because they always live right next to each other. If you don't understand what I'm talking, just trust me. So that's flat 7, 1, and then our flat 3 could be played there, but it could also be played there, like we did when we were walking up our arpeggios before. So that's minor 3rd, and then we've got our 5. So we've got flat 7, 1, minor 3rd, 5. Now the reason why I picked a minor 7 as opposed to just a B minor chord is because the B minor's only got 3 notes. So it can be a little bit hard to sequence. But when we play a sequence over the top of a 4-note arpeggio, this gives us more to do. So once again, using that octave idea where we go flat 7, 1, flat 3, 5, we go to the octave of our flat 7 and we play flat 7, 1, flat 3, 5, and we go to the octave of that, flat 7, 1, flat 3, 5. So we got like I said, these sequenced arpeggios are in that sheet that's on the website. So go and check it out if I'm moving too quick for you, and get your fingers under this. So we can do sequences over this. We could do a 3 or a 4-note or 5-note sequence. If I was to do, let's do 5, 1, 2, 3, no, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's back to the second note once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can do that in reverse as well. Oh. So I won't spend a lot of time. I reckon that's probably enough talking about. Maybe you guys might want to start to get your hands around the minor 7 arpeggio. We could also do major 7 arpeggio, where the major 7 is there. So major 7, 1, major 3, and 5. So you got that sound going over B major 7. And we could also do dominant 7. So dominant 7 is a flattened 7th. So flat 7, 1, major 3, 5. And I quite like the sound of that arpeggio. Oh, I screwed it up. When you sequence that, it sounds quite cool. I screwed it up. So I won't do any more on that. So go do some homework on that one. I reckon we'll use that one at a later point. All right, so we've done some rhythmic things. We've done some scale things. We've done some arpeggio ideas. Now I reckon we should look at training up some ear stuff, because we can work those technical stuff all the time, but unless we apply it, it's just exercises and scales. And if you do that too much, I reckon you go a bit loopy without actually making some music on it. So let's go to sorry, I'm just going to turn this track off. I'm going to go to a backing track, and let's do the G major scale. I'll just pull up something here. And let's use some of those ideas. So I'm just going to go to YouTube, G major backing track. And we'll use some of those ideas of our G major arpeggios and see where we end up. G major backing track. Waterfalls. All right, we'll see what this from Tom. Who's this guy? Tom Bailey backing tracks. I've never heard. Hang on, we're gonna get an ad. I know. We'll silence the ad. Silence the ads. Hope there's still some people out there watching. We've got 15 playbacks, so there's sort of some people there watching. All right, I hope you're playing along, and let's see what this sounds like. Is this going to play for me? Why? All right, never heard this track before. It's like a really detuned or a baritone guitar or something. So it's apparently in G major. All right, so one of the good things about me jumping on a track, like I said, I've never heard it. I know what key it's in because that's what I asked for, G major. What we want to do is try and pick out the chord progression so we can sort of do some intelligent stuff with this rather than just blowing over the top of a G major or relative minor, E minor pentatonic. Or you can do even E minor scale over the top of this. So we got G major there. Alright, so we went for the standard 1, 5, 6, 4 chord progression. There's been a million songs written with that. Oh, hang on. You went to the 4 there. 5, 6, 4. So we got G, D, E minor, C. So what we might do is use our arpeggios over the top of this track just to exercise or put in a musical context what we just did before with our exercises. All right, there's a change there. Still the same chord progression. All right, so straightforward chord progression. I might just go back to the beginning of this track again. So yeah, let's use our arpeggios. So if we're thinking about the arpeggios, we've got a G there. We could use the 3 octaves over the top of that change. And when the change comes around, we're going to switch to a D major. All right, we've got a D major arpeggio up there as well. Or we could go that way. So that's the 1, major 3rd, 5. And then the E minor, we could do 1, minor 3rd, 5, or we could play it like that, 1, minor 3rd, 5, and then up the octave. Whoa. And then the C, we've got a C down here. And we can do the octave on that one as well. So we just want to explore those arpeggios and sort of try and make some music over the top of this track. I'm assuming you can hear a good balance of that track. Let's listen to the chord progression for a bit. We want to get our bearings of where the chords are sitting. E minor, C. Alright, that's where it changed, the C. So we've got G. Still the same chord progression: D, E minor, C. All right, now what you notice I was doing there, so obviously you could sit all day on those positions, but you want to sort of explore around the chords. So if we look at our G bar chord, look at this camera here, we've got our major third, our 5 and our 1 there. So we could do a G over the top, or we could even use the G shape up the top there, or we could use our major pentatonic. And you notice I did that a couple of times, which pushed nicely into the 5 chord. So we go G major pentatonic is the but you can also play it up the neck. So I'm doing there. So it's the 1, the 2, the major third, the 5, and major 7. Is that right? No. No, that's the 6. Sorry. Then the 1. And if I go back a semitone from there, that's the major third of the D. Sorry, yeah, the D. And then if I slide in from there, that's the 1 of the 3. That's the minor third of the 3. And then the C, we've got there. We've got that part of the C chord there. Because what we really don't want to be doing is just following those arpeggios around, because that's a little bit boring. We want to try and create a bit of melody. So let's go back to the beginning of that again. Feel free to noodle and do whatever you're doing. All 3. There's the G, E minor, C, all right, now notice that I didn't highlight all the chords. I was just using some of the main chords and hanging on some of the notes, because if you just play too much, it sounds like you're trying to do an exercise. Remember, our goal is to make music. So I go from a G major arpeggio here. That's the C. So remember, we've got the C up here. So moving up the neck as you go is really cool. So we did the G down here this time. So the C. Once again, that note is the C note. Whoa, major third. Alright, so you notice there what I did, I just sort of broke out of the arpeggio box a little bit and just sort of noodled over some of the things I would normally just sort of shred over the top of. Because we want to mix that up. It shouldn't be all just about arpeggios. The arpeggios help us center around the chords. But playing around the scales is really cool as well. Let's just keep doing a little bit more of that. E minor. That's that weird change. G, E minor, so it's always important. You want to try and stay focused on where the chord change is going. Alright, now I'm just being stupid. Alright, so let's use over this track some of those sequencing ideas that we were doing. So how about we try a 4-note sequence over the top of our E minor, over the top of our E minor pentatonics, because that's a relative minor, and see how if we can make that fit rhythmically. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and so that's the 8th note. 1 and so keep it super simple. 1. Alright, so that was a bit boring, but you want to be able to sit it in rhythmically with what's going on with the song. Alright, so that was a 3-note sequence. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, da 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 da. So I'm playing 6-note, 3-note pattern, but over a 6th feel. 1 da 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 da. So you wouldn't want to use that whole thing over a piece of music, or you might want to, but little pieces of it are really nice. Alright, so that one had a different feel for it. That was the 4-note pattern. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. And if you do that over triplets, yeah, or we could do that over the G major pentatonic. 1 2 3 4. Wow. I'm out rhythmically. What am I doing? 3 4. I failed at that one, but you get the idea. So trying to use all these ideas that we've practiced, and then put them into music and try and get some sort of musical sense out of what's going on. Like even I've been working this 5-note pattern thing, and I'm probably going to fail this really bad now. Yeah, warmed up probably. So that's a cool one. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those different rhythmic ideas and subdivisions over the notes are going to give you different flavors and different feels. So that, even that one. So trying to get some different ideas happening. What key am I in? G, sorry. So it'd be D. Fail. So that one's unusual because that was a dominant 7 arpeggio over the top of D. Didn't work for two reasons. One is because I failed at playing it. The other one is because it probably didn't really match the chords that were going over the time. So the D7, dominant 7, yeah, probably clashed a little bit. But yeah, trying different ideas out like that. You don't have to play at crazy speeds or just little ideas, just trying things out. See that? G major 7 arpeggio. My favourite G major 7 arpeggio is this one here. It's just the 4 notes. We got our 1, a major 3rd, which is the G, the B, and your D, and whatever the heck that is, F sharp. And you can add these other notes in the middle out of the G major scale. And there I'm just doing some string skipping things over the G major scale. Some legato sort of things. You can also play that same major 7 thing over the C. Yes. All right. Cool. That's a cool backing track, that one there. So that one is Tom Bailey backing tracks. I'll have to, I might subscribe to him and like that video. Cool. So it's 1 o'clock, according to the play school clock, or the guitar play school clock, which is on the wall over there somewhere. All right, cool. So I think we'll wrap that up today. I hope that's been helpful or entertaining or helped you stretch some things out. So yeah, every Wednesday we're going to do this. So if you want to, that camera there, tune in. And if you haven't already, please click subscribe and like and hit the notification bell. So whenever I do a stream or upload a video, you're in the loop. And you don't miss out on anything. Remember, the notes of all the exercises that I personally do, I've compiled onto about 5 or 6 pages, and they're on my website, Menai Guitar School. It's changed. MenaiGuitarSchool.com. Please go to the website, check out the notes there, because they might be helpful for you. I'm looking back in this camera. So yeah, so have a good rest of your day. Just a reminder, we've got live stream Wednesdays, 12 o'clock. Fridays, we've got beginner lessons at 3 o'clock, just for half an hour. So if you know one that would be interested in that, refer them on, please. That would be cool. And Sundays hangout. And if you've got any ideas for things we can do there, I've got some things bubbling away that I could work on. But if you've got any ideas or things you would like me to cover, feel free to send me a message. You can send messages via the website. I'm not going to publish my email address on YouTube, because it will probably get smashed. Cool. All right. So I hope that's been fun, enjoyable, entertaining, and I didn't bore you too much. Back in this camera again. All right. So bye. I'm going to go have some lunch. And I would suggest you to do the same if you haven't already. So have a good day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.